Hi everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to let you know that our playback from last night has been up and running regarding the view of cryptocurrency. So today I just thought I'd reactivate some of my old scripts here. So I'm going to go over with them on the best performing uh, coins out there in the world of Binance. First half of 2020. It's been that long since I did this sort of thing. Part of my analysis. So the first thing I like to do is I got scripts that generate these reports. So let me just show you some of them. Some of them are Word documents. Some of them are Excel. So this spreadsheet can be very, very useful. People don't seem to want to put the effort into learn this stuff. They just want to be able to profit from automated bots. But a lot of the people come back and trying to wonder why it never works out for them. Anyways, here we are. These are the performing now. Right now, just right now, let's just be upfront. The market is in a deep dive right now. Everything's gone really negative. It was a lot worse. It was like -6 on this weighted average thing. So it's pretty negative. But on the other hand, you want to know what are the coins to be on the lookout for. Now, this is daily data, so it's not going to include this type of drop. But on the other hand, last night it was very, very active and it was up just as much, maybe 5-6% across the board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of metrics that I like to use that are very simple that I think most people may want to use looking at whatever instruments or asset class. So first thing I want to do is you can see here I've got this spreadsheet here. The few things that I do look for are things like momentum, slope of the price over the last 6 months, a year, daily data again. And the other thing I like to look at is volatility because we do know that the space of crypto is very volatile, so I do factor that in. I'll show you some Word documents in a little bit that will filter out um, volume as well. So all the no-name coins will not get included in some of those reports. So the first thing I want to look at is, let's say, sort by momentum. Actually, I should be using Excel, but for now, I'll just stick with this. So that's column J. All right. So we want column J. We want ascending. I always get these mixed up. So using LibreOffice, so sometimes it can be a real pain to work with. So we'll do column J, descending. Okay, here we go. So you can see here, here's some of our best performing long term. I question this one with XRP, but I could be uh, surprised by that. But you'll see that it's either in Ethereum or USDT. The reason I don't include BTC as a market or as a base quote is it just doesn't perform that well compared to what I found with Ethereum. So you can see here, I usually like to look at the top, let's say 5. So we got EOS, XRP, BLZ, BNB, NAV, and XLM. Outside of the ones we already know, the other ones I don't pay a lot of attention to. But let me look at the slope here as well. So we're going to now do a sort on column N, which is slope, right here. So let me just do that on column N, and this will be helpful. And this is, of course, across all instruments that are performing above average. As you can see here, now slope's important on the line. We have BTC, BNB, Tezos, Link, FTT, which is a no-name one, but I've seen that trend a lot. BNB Ethereum. Now you can tell if BNB is confirmed because we have BNB in both USDT and BNB Ethereum. EOS, RCN, you'll see this in the Word document, Ethereum, and BSV dash Litecoin. So the ones that have more volume are trending better. There are fewer no-name coins out there. They're not just not performing comparatively outside of this one, RCN and FTT. So you can see the importance on the sort of things that you look for in terms of what will become the coins that will perform in the long run. You know, being June, will FTT and RCN be the next equivalent of Tezos and Link, even though they are doing well as well. If you've not seen my video yesterday, I showed how both this one, XTZ, Tezos, and Chainlink or Link USDT have doubled twice this year, like twice. I've not seen that in such a short period of time, but it was done. The charts are there. Go on your trading view and check that out. But the interesting ones to be on the lookout for, again, are RCN and FTT. I would include BSV, but for whatever reason, I do like the performance of BSV. But for whatever reason, on Binance, you can't trade it for their political whatever. But BSV can do well too. So let's go over to our Word documents, or I'm sorry, Word documents, and check out what we have here. So in here, just so you know, the scripts that I have that I don't make public, but I will release the results of them from time to time as part of my service. You can see here I've got crypto performance based upon volume, just generally on long, that includes everything. And the other one, long based on trend. And I can only do long, so that's all I focus on for now. But let me just show you based on trend. All right, so for those that don't know how this works, these charts are not exactly pretty, but what do you care? We just want the information from a very quick snapshot. Usually I'll tell you this. These are in order of decent performing over the next few months. So what you have here is our usual large coins. Like there's no-name coins in here at all. But that's, again, based upon trend. All right. So Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, Neo, Dash, Qtum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and in this order. Now, I've played around a lot when it comes to performance-based. I will tell you that usually the top 5 are the ones you want to watch for. Those are the ones. I can also confirm that within MotiveWave as well through the backtester and the optimizer as well, and I can determine where I should put my focus on, and I might do that actually as a separate video with MotiveWave. That's what I love about MotiveWave, how powerful it is. You can get the research that you want and know where to potentially put your coin, your investment, if you're going to do hodling in the world of crypto for long term, to give you the best performance, which will give you the best outlook moving forward. And then again, these are over the last year. So surprisingly, I think a lot of people wouldn't think Ethereum Classic would be your best performer out of all the large ones. But, you know, we'll take a look at that. So you can see here what's leading out of the gate. I don't know why, but XMR, we have our cross, moving average crosses. This is going back a year, okay? So you can see XMR has been trending down, but what makes these type of coins, especially like XMR and Monero, and remember it's a private coin, an anonymous coin, you're trading opportunities of when they get above that trend. Those are your what you want to look for, especially when it comes to hodling, long-term type of trading. You can see here the Fibonacci lines, which I don't really use as much as I used to, but it's still pretty good from a very high level. Technically, there's supposed to be 5 lines here, but it's been just tight range bound for a long time. So you're not going to get a lot of trend here. But this is an important one from a statistical point of view to give you an idea of daily returns over the last year. Where has it been more negative or has it been more positive? Here you can see it's probably slightly more positive with XMR on daily returns, so that is okay. Now, I do these weird looking charts here. This is a typical head and shoulder, the look back of 1,000 days, so that's going to be a couple of years actually. But you can see here on the move, on the general trend, the price has moved up. And again, this is using hourly data. The problem with XMR, I find, is that it just moves around so much. It's really hard to predict trades. So here, on a short-term basis, we can get potential on what's going to move. Now, if I do the motive wave analysis, I'll be able to go way deeper because I have so many studies to work with. So these kind of reports are going to help me to be able to do better analysis on real data with a really world-class platform, MotiveWave, and I'll do that. I'm going to do that in a little bit. So you can see here when you get these crazy drops, this is a 90-day look back. It is trending up. The momentum's definitely up, as you can see. The RSI is building. So there is something happening on a short-term basis with XMR. That might be just because the Bitcoin's on the move as well. So the momentum is definitely positive, as you can see here, and that is broken down on a 30-day basis as well. So we are now moving into, which one are we looking at now? Okay, now we have the granddaddy, BTC. So the order I'm showing you right now by charts is these are the best ones that look really, really good in terms of what's been performing well and what may, as long as the momentum, we're a 30-day chart here as an example, if that momentum still builds, then yeah, XMR is definitely, from a short-term point of view, is definitely one coin to probably move into as well. And you can see here the Bitcoin is doing pretty good as well. So we'll get that. So it's just hitting above that trend. It has flattened out. It's no longer in the decline that has been over the last year. Give it a few weeks, few months, that you'll start to see this, hopefully this trend move up for Bitcoin. So that's what we want to see to say, yeah, Bitcoin has arrived. And after its halving 2 weeks ago, that might be helping. So again, you can just see over the last year how tight the Fibonacci's, there are no Fibonacci lines. It's been so tight over the last year. Pretty tough trading conditions for people that want to trade in this. Again, number of lines distributed or returns for each day has been more positive, that's for sure. Also I forgot to mention these harmonic patterns. I do like harmonic patterns a lot. I can identify what kind of pattern it is. That's doing the analysis I talked about last night in last night's video with TA-lib. Again, we have the attempt to draw this bullish butterfly. I can definitely demonstrate that with MotiveWave. These are just using raw Python code, so these are kind of ugly, but it's pretty good to have something like MotiveWave, so I'll show that more. I mean, look at this trend. Those are hourly moves for the last 1,000. So it has definitely gone from roughly 7,700 all the way up to 9,250. That's pretty strong move. So you can see here we got bullish signals. Last one was May 25th, and it's been driving up and up and up. So Bitcoin looks like it is definitely on its way up. We can see here some predictability on the trending. I can better show that in MotiveWave, so we'll do that in MotiveWave as a separate video. And again, here we've got these more up moves, bigger up trends. That's on a 90-day outlook. Let's see here. yeah, we can see on the RSI it's above 50 quite for a while. It's starting to move up, so the momentum's starting to pick up over the last 90 days. And again, you have this big move. Now we have this latest down move, as I've shown you here. But long term, it looks like Bitcoin's definitely on the move with XMR a little bit. Now, another one to be on the lookout for looks like it's Dash. We got a cross here, so maybe, just maybe, yeah, it's been in this weird trend. You can see Dash is just starting to break that trend. It's still long-term negative trending. But here's the thing, is a lot of these coins, well, I shouldn't say Dash is another private coin or can be considered a private coin, so it can move against or not be correlated with Bitcoin. So this Dash may kind of can correlate around the performance of Bitcoin, but either way, you can clearly see it's time to get in because it's above that trend line, the long-term trend line. And again, no Fibonacci lines. It's just nothing you can work with from that. You can see here we've got a slight more negative daily return. So it's from a hodling point of view, it's a pretty good one. Here in the look back of 1,000 hours, it looks like it's definitely down. We have here a bullish signal, and then we get into the Fibonacci lines. Okay, so this is a 30-day. So you can see here between the Fibonacci levels. Here, this is for the last year. But things are starting to break out. It's been really tough, I would say, in the last few months to trade because there's just been no direction. But here, when you look at the 30-day, you see the difference with all the Fibonacci lines. So we get through, hopefully it'll break through that 618. You can see here it's done it a few times over the last 30 days. But what we want to know, it's going to break that 618 level for classic entry. Again, things to look for here. It's slightly above 50. The momentum's not positive yet. And that's over how long? That's at 180 view. But comparatively, let's see, still not a positive momentum. But here we go. So for the last 30 days, that momentum's starting to build. Looks like since the beginning of June, so that momentum's starting to move up. So Dash is something to be on the lookout for as well. Zcash. This is ZEC. Here we have another move. So it is moving. I can't say if it's a strong buy entry signal here, but we can tell it took place around here. Here, it's just confirming that is. But the question is, based upon historical, how far up will this move? If you ask me, this is probably something that you could get into. This one, it's in a negative trend, so it's could be half of that. It's hard to say. It really depends upon the performance of Bitcoin. Yeah, here, let me see if I got any questions on the phone. Okay, if you are on my stream, just let me know. No. All right, so Zcash is a tough one. Definitely, Bitcoin is definitely something to be on the lookout for. But the funny thing is, I'll just say this: we have Bitcoin, and the other out of the four that I've already looked at, all of these other four are private coins. So that may signal to you that people are moving more capital into these private coins: Zcash, ZEC, XMR, which is Monero, and Dash. So I'm finding that quite unique in how potentially with all the chaos going out in the world, taxation is definitely coming. The government's coming after you, so maybe, just maybe, that's why there might be this move towards private coins, as you can see here historically. But coming back to the speculation of it, this one on the daily returns, Zcash has not been that good. We have here bearish Gartley. Bearish signs are not something you want, but it's pretty typical where you get these harmonics they can be contradicting themselves and wash out the analysis. But again, you can see here that it just had a nice run up on the neckline, and it just boom, it took off, and it's in this short-term decline. So now here's something of interest here. This is now using Fibonacci, approaching our entry here that we want. We've seen this before where it just putters out. This is why I don't really like Fibonacci as much. If there's not enough volume to drive it through our next set of levels here, you'll clearly see, here's our 50 line right here. You can see here, that's a false breakout. Works here, gets us to where we want to be, but you got to see that volume. You got to be able to analyze that volume and say, yes, it's there. When you see moves like this, we'll see that in a minute. Let's see, this is a 180-day view. See how it's very, very little momentum here. We are hitting our RSI, but here we had a nice big move a few days ago. And that's due to the fact, of course, our momentum has been building right along here. 30-day views better. Yeah, you can see it now. Or it has been above that trend line. And it's just been above 50. So this has been a good one for the last, let's say, 30 days, this big move, and it may start to solidify and build a next leg up. So our next pair is Bitcoin Cash. Let's see here. Bitcoin Cash, it's just starting to flatten out. Bitcoin is definitely from the trend lines I've seen. Bitcoin is definitely starting to flatten out. This is still in its next move that we've been looking for. And Bitcoin, I've always liked Bitcoin Cash. It's been always a nice coin to work with. Here again, slightly evenly distributed on the daily return. Here, it's popped and it's in this negative trend. So here it's interesting. We have here candle pattern detected, bullish signals. That's good. And it's just starting to consolidate, so it may start to move up. 180, yeah, I think this is what could happen here. So we have our RSI down here at 50, moves up, and that's at a price of about, so that's in January, and it moved up to $500. So you can see the performance has been really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin does well. This is going to, in this next run up, Bitcoin Cash will outperform Bitcoin. That's usually from what I've seen. So we are starting to see it. Let me just go over to the smaller views. Yeah, you can see there's more green here. But you got to be prepared for these big drops, and that's probably just, yeah. So this is back in March when that big 40% drop happened. Those are hard to see. So here over the last 30 days, the momentum's just been moving up. That's what we want to see. So that's looking really, really good. Now, Ethereum, I think all year people have been saying Ethereum's been a pretty well a disaster. Well, not a disaster, but you can see how negative that trend line over the last year have been. Not good. Fibonacci surprisingly has opened up. Not as it's a little more variance in the Fibonacci levels compared to the other ones. Again, it's really hard to say 50-50 with the daily returns. Less signaling here. We do see a bullish, but not as strong as Bitcoin Cash. Uh, so out of the bunch, the Bitcoin Cash may look like it has. There's another bullish signal, and they're pointing up. And it has been actually performing quite nicely just along here. Now, if you're asking me which one will give you a better result, as I said here, from 150 to 300, it's not as strong performance as, let's say, Bitcoin Cash. So again, Bitcoin Cash is the place to be. It looks like historically, I'll be able to confirm that in the moving, the MotiveWave platform. I mean, the momentum's good, but if you only have like a finite number of capital, I think Bitcoin Cash is the one to be in. Litecoin is another interesting one. It's just been flat, not been really well. Actually, it's been declining. The performance is not there. Look at it; it's just flat. Let's see the outlook here. Looks like it's gotten a slight more negative returns. There's that big drop. We don't want to see that. Got two bullish signals, so let's see what that means. See the performance. It's had a huge run up in the past, but just little blips. So I think what we're going to start to see overall in the crypto space from the performance end with the little coins, they're going to eventually drop off. But just doing this one analysis, you can see which ones will survive. It looks like it's going to be Bitcoin Cash, and who knows? It's too early to tell if the private coins will continue to do well. But there's just nothing coming out of Litecoin at all. And I used to like Litecoin a lot. I mean, you get some decent little performance from 42 to 48. That's okay. That's more good for the stock market with those kind of returns. But you want to get better performance. We've already talked about those. And here we go into Neo. I mean, it's not even worth commenting here. Oh, this looks really not good. More negative for sure. So this type of reporting, even though it's kind of ugly, it seems to work pretty good. So look at that, and let's look at some other ones. Okay. So we're gonna do one on filtered on. Let's do filtered on volume. I have to tell you, Mac is starting to blow donkey balls with so many problems with it. Quality of software is the same as Microsoft, so I hear the new Ubuntu a lot of people are raving about. Anyways, let's continuing along. Yabba dabba doo. This would be nice. Maybe I should be fair. It is running. System's running quite a bit. All right. So this is now built around a certain level of pairs. So we're going to see some of the smaller coins here, this type of analysis, but that are greater than 40 million. So again, these are in order as you see them in terms of outlook, performance, that sort of thing. So these are more, we'll call them risky ones, but they can do well, but they do move negative very quickly. Again, negative. This is IOTX. You know, how long will it stay in this performance? I don't know. The Fibonacci is looking pretty good, but it will drop off here for sure. Looks like it's more positive. Look at the negative. These negative fat tails you just don't want. Yeah, I don't like the looks of this. You know, this performance is not exactly. But on the other hand, you got 5 bullish signals. All generate the end of May, so maybe, just maybe, that might. Wow, look at all bullish. That's crazy. So this little guy's throwing those off. Now, one of the things, advantages with this type of little set of scripts I'm writing, MotiveWave will not be able to analyze these smaller coins because the connections that you have into Crypto Compare, Coin Compare, they don't cover these smaller unknown coins. Now, the reason I like to bring up these smaller coins is if you see my video yesterday, there was one coin that did 800% since the beginning of the year. So, I mean, it's those kind of crazy returns where if you put a little bit of your crypto portfolio into that, that move alone could easily outperform everything else that's in your portfolio. That's why I like to watch those kind of coins, but they're hard to know which ones are going to move. But we've already identified two of them in the Excel spreadsheet that could move. So I'm going to do more of these, but these are going to be more available for my analytic folks. So they have an idea if they do want to hodl, know where to go. So in here, you can see the momentum's doing pretty good. But the crazy drops is what scares me off of this. Excuse me. So let's just take a look at the 30 view. See, it's just flattened out. These are, see how small the volume is? This is another problem with these lesser known coins. It's the volumes, but they will go through these episodes of really good volume so that you can have some opportunity there. But once that volume dries up, you see what happens. It goes negative or peaks, basically drops off from the peak momentum. So here's another one. Stellar for a while was doing okay, but just look at the long term. It's just been flat. Look how steep that decline is. Just these are not coins. I think they come and go, but as I do more of these analysis, you'll be able to see the opportunities as they come up. Again, probably more negative on the on the fat tail. So just look at that. That's a huge trend down. But I'm not going to get sucked into these bullish. Well, that's a bullish and bearish signal. So I'm not even going to venture into this. But again, as I said before, we hit these peaks and it just drops off. And these may be fine when certain coins do okay, but you know, they do go through their periods of where they do perform and outperform the negative moves in the crypto space. So, you know, XLM or Stellar, I don't know, doesn't really excite me. Those drops kind of scare me off. But here we have this bearish and bullish butterfly harmonic pattern. So that kind of washes it out. It has had decent performance in the last short term, but you could probably say the same thing about Bitcoin, and then you do the analysis of Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash may give you better performance from what I'm seeing right now. XLM. These are nice moves to see moving up. That's a 90-day. Let's see the 30-day. So that is actually looking pretty good, but that's performing around Bitcoin. But if you look at the last 6 months, it moves up from 4 cents to 9 cents, so it's just more than double. I mean, don't get me wrong, when it doubles, that's pretty exciting. And it's doing it right now again from 5 to 8, so it is doubling. But again, you got other ones that can, well, let's just leave it. Doubling, I'm excited. I'll just shut up now. But it is moving up. It is moving above that trend quite steeply, but that is because of the moves of Bitcoin, really. Now here's an interesting one. Cardano has been performing really well lately. These huge, massive declines starting to be above trend. That's what you want to see. And again, this looks kind of encouraging because there seems to be maybe a few more daily returns than any of the other ones. So Cardano looking good there on that short-term move. This looks strong on the Fibonacci. Again, wow, let's see what I said over the last few days. It's just been stellar, going from 0.04 to 0.08. So it's almost doubling in just in a few days. but it's been doing really well. I'll be able to confirm that on the MotiveWave. It's been doing really well the last few days. There you go. Nice moves up. Really good. So Cardano, I'm liking. Tron has been, from what I'm seeing, a disappointment. A lot of false positives with it. Look at that. More negative, definitely more negative daily returns. Looks good here, shooting her on up, but see, it just fizzes out. So it just, I don't know why. Bullish, 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 that's fine. But it's just not as strong. Tron yesterday was just showing not good signaling. But you see, just historically, it's just not outperforming. Looks good here, but don't get excited. IOSTD, I think I've seen this quite a bit, but it's just strong negative. Let's see here. Well, I could be wrong because it's definitely been more positive. So this is one of those coins that could do pretty good. You can see right here, it's been definitely way more positive daily returns than negative. This long term may be a shocker for people looking at that. Numbers don't lie, as I was saying. It's been trending up. Yeah, it's historically been dead, but I don't know. The performance has not been too good. So from four to 9, it can double. That's potential. Here's been really good. So there's been some really good performers here. IOSTD may be one to hang on to more for long term. That is another one that I've seen do well. But look at its move up. That's pretty steep. Again, pretty steep. It's like Cardano. Yeah, look at that. No, I'm sorry. More negative returns. So it's kind of like Tron. Just all promise, but no long term. It's a pretty good move up, but you can see what happens historically, and then it just drops back down. So it's probably hitting its peak here, and then it just dies. Yeah, that seems to be what the performances of this. It's good to be around when it runs up. Okay, so we're going to look at one last one. I know what this one will entail. All right, so we got one more chart. One more document to go through. This one for the long term. So this one includes everything. So we've talked about this in the spreadsheet here. Let me just see here. Let me get to it. Okay, so in the spreadsheet here, we talked about only 2 no-name coins. We got this one, RCN, against Ethereum, and FTT against USDT. This one I'm highlighting because, well, that's what the script does. That's what it's for. But here we can analyze what's been happening at RCN. So RCN's one that has some potential here. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. We have here RCN against Ethereum. I can always check out and compare the overall standard deviation against the group. Let's see here if I can do that. It's probably a fairly volatile. Let me do that sort again with the standard deviation. Okay, so I'm going to do the standard deviation. That's column K. So column K, descending. So let's see here. This is the most volatile at the top to the bottom of being the least volatile. So where's our RCN? RCN. Uh, okay, I'll find it. Let me just. So we have here 40 coins that are outperforming. And in terms of volatility, we can see which ones are the most volatile here at the top to the ones here at the bottom. So it's about 18 out of 40. So it's in the bottom half of being the most volatile. So you got to be careful here of this coin from that point of view. Let's see just overall how its performance has been pretty good. Wow, look at that. This is rare. The last year, for me to sit here and say you have um, a positive trend line. That's rare. So this is an interesting coin to watch. But here, more negative. But if you look at this chart says it all right here. See, it's always been above the Fibonacci levels, which is good. But this coin, for whatever reason, is moving up. And this could be one of those surprise ones moving up. Look at that move up. Again, doing really well. Bullish, bullish. These are strong. These are strong bullish signals back in midweek, third week of April. So historically, it's above that trend. So you got to really hang on to this coin. So it does move up, but it flattens out. This is what I'm always leery about. But really, I don't know this coin if it works, if it's correlated around Bitcoin, but it looks like this is a potential. And as I said, the other potential is that FTT. I've been noticing that, or is it FTM? Let me just see here. And to be honest, I don't really focus on no-name non-performers. But let's see here. We want, let's say, slope. Call them in. All right, so we have now our performers here. So we have FTT and RCN as the ones to watch. If I could trade BSV on Binance, I would as well, but that ain't gonna happen. Okay, let's go over to TradingView and see what people say about these two coins. So we have here FTT and what was it, Ethereum? FTT USDT. USDT. I like TradingView with the community on it. It's really good. So you can see here on the, let's say year to date. So it is year to date. We have a buy signal. And considering it is a negative, very negative weighted average, it's very negative, negative 4.93. But yet we have here a coin that is moving against the grade of Bitcoin. But you can see this massive, well, I'm saying, well, it looks massive, drop. So you have to be careful there of this coin. But I do think that this coin does show some promise. And then we also had, let's get the other one here, FTT USDT. Okay, FDT. So FTX. Oh, this is FTX. This is why. It's one of the big exchanges out there. So let's see that. This would make sense on why it performs. So right now it's in a neutral. Oh no, it's in a buy. So intraday, it's looking good. So if I look at the signals of the big ones like BTC, USDT, it'll probably say sell because of the performance from today. Long term, it'll say buy. Yeah, see a strong buy for Bitcoin. Has not moved. Wow. Okay, let me try the Ethereum. This one's not as strong. We've noticed that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are the two best performing right now on the Bitcoins. So it's not a strong buy though. 1 day, it's just a buy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, let's see. What's the other one we want? Bitcoin Cash, USDT. All right. So we have a buy, 1 day. So from what TradingView is saying, it's Bitcoin's going to outperform. Let's just do one more. Litecoin. I don't put a lot of effort in this one. Yeah. So Bitcoin's your one that you want. All right. So they all see all the same drops in the last few hours. They just all correlate around the performance of Bitcoin. But so that's an intraday view. Okay, so if I bring up the two other ones I mentioned, FTT, USDT, see, it doesn't look like it trends around Bitcoin, which is good. Yeah, see, there's no. Oh, it did do a negative drop. Let me see the other one too. RCN USDT. Or no, that was RCN Ethereum. And then we'll do the 1 day. So there's not enough volume there in this coin, it looks like. It just doesn't have a natural, what I call move. So that might throw that out the window. Let's just see the other ones that have done fairly well. XTZ or Tezos. Okay, so let's see, did it drop like the other? Yeah, it had a drop there. And then let's do one last one here. Link USDT. The other one that we've not talked about that just got added to the futures list on Binance is Theta. So I'm just going to check that out as well. So did Link? So Linked had a better recovery. It looks like. Well, not really. That's one. But let me just see Theta. This could be another interesting coin to watch. Look at that. So 0.072 to, oh no, was it? Wow, it's gone up 4 times. Wow, amazing. Theta, dump it. Let's see here. Yeah, it didn't drop as much. Well, it did, but it had a better recovery. So this is going to be an interesting coin to watch, even though it's not coming up in my reports. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Nobody's asked any questions. That's all cool. All right, so we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this will help you out, and we shall talk to you later. Have a good day.